Hey, welcome back to Fixing Things. Today is probably, I don't know if I'm going to fix it or not. This is the second attempt on the fuel tank. So, I'm not sweating it. I got a big fuel tank right here. It's got a sending unit in it, everything. My lines come up right back here. But what I'm hoping to do, and my plans was to do, and see, this is the line coming out of the tank, is put a three-way switch right here, right? One to operate this tank, one to operate this tank, and the other one to feed goes, the other third leg goes back to the fuel pump. So this has got a fuel sending unit in it, and this fuel sending unit don't work, but I think I found one on eBay. The problem with this tank is rust right now. And it's half full of gasoline again. Oh, why did I put that much gas back in it? So we got to drain that gas out. Before it was the black goo. We had 20-year-old fuel in it that varnished and turned back to dinosaur goo. You know, as dinosaurs, they make all our fuel. And all the animals that die, the oil from their bodies just kind of penetrates the soil and gets down to a certain level, and it turns into liquid gold, Texas tea. Y'all come back now, you hear? So it had already turned into Texas tea. And this tank, now it's got rust in it. And a lot of rust. It was plugging up the fuel filter. It was running off that tank. It was running good off that tank, but it was plugging the fuel filter up within an hour. And I can't have that. So my ideal plan is to make this tank still the main tank. It's hooked up to the gauge inside still. And this one would be my auxiliary tank. And also we can project. So if I go out and we do a start, we can get gas out of this tank and use it for projects for will it start. That's the game plan. And so right now, it's my primary tank. It's running only off that. I got the three-way switch coming. I think I found. When we get this out, we'll see if that's right. But I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna drain the gas out. We're gonna drain the gas out. Because if I can't fix this tank, and it's holding fluid and it's solid, we should be able to fix it. I see some guys use electrolysis on the tanks, and the rust collects right to the rod that they put in there. That may be something to do. You can't run it in here. The problem I was having before with trying to clean the tank is the bed was coming over and it went down. We couldn't get to the top of the bed came out and went down and couldn't get to the top of the tank. Well, now the top of the tank's exposed and we can get into it with there's a 2-inch hole right here. Here, there's a screen down there and you can't get nothing past the screen. I tried putting a scope up in through the bottom plug, which is only like a 3/4 inch plug. And looking up, it didn't look too bad. But every time I put something in it, more gunk came out of it. So I know it's not plugged up here. It was plugged up on the outgoing line. So the outgoing line doesn't float. It's just down at the bottom of the tank. Right now it's not plugged. And the tank holds pressure. It holds good pressure. We backfed it before and it was blowing fuel out the line with the pressure in it. So the idea is, let's get with it. Let's see if we can't drain this tank. It's going to be a messy job. I got to find some place to put the old fuel. I'm going to try cleaning this fuel. I'm going to get me a pump. I got 2 5-gallon buckets, 3 5-gallon buckets, and we're gonna put the fuel in those 5-gallon buckets and store it someplace safe. The problem with gasoline and storing it is that this new gasoline, the evaporation rate is so high. If it's not sealed up, it's going to evaporate. So let's get with it. The last video was successful. We got the black goo out of it. Now we got to get the rust out of it. Got my lay it down device. All right. Takes an Allen wrench. Too small. Maybe a little small. Too big. Is these metric or something? Yes, of course they are. I'm gonna dump these out. All right, let's see here. Too big. Too small. Way too big. Way too big. What's this one? Bullseye. But it is the pink rated for gas. I got a bad feeling about this. It smells good. Okay, that's not good. All right, let me get something to poke it with. That hole is plugged up. All right, let's try this again. Got me my poking device. And that's unbelievable that, you know, this is gonna gush. I forgot my rags. The gas smells good. I'm gonna try to filter it out. Should have brought a smaller screwdriver. Oh no. I thought I lost the It was down in the gas. That wouldn't have been good if this thing filled up and I can't find the thing to plug it. Honey, I need your help. All right, let's go ahead and dump it. What is it? Huh? It's like insulation. What do you need it for? Yeah. No, that's so fine. Oh, that's it. That's all there is. You're good. Oh, so now we got to get all this off. So that's just a ground wire. I think it's just a stud on it. Then you got to get these off. First, we'll get the sensor wire off. None of these break. So far, so good. That was easy. Well, I think I figured out why it ain't floating. All right, we definitely need a new one. The float dissolved in it. Unless I can buy a new float and clean this up. It's working. It's working. Oh, maybe I can fix it. All right, we're gonna blast that stuff out, that's for sure. Oh yeah. All right, we're making a lot of progress. There's a lot of junk out there on the ground. Be nice by the end of the day, get that tank running. Then when my flipper or dipper doodatter thinger comes in, I don't know if we'll get it running because I got to put the new float on it. I may buy a whole new sending unit. I don't know. I'll be checking and see what I can get. I'm not even sure if that's the right one, but we're gonna clean that thing up and check the ohms on it, see if it works. But right now, I'm using, it's still crunchy in there. Let's see if we can't scrape some out. You let me know if you see anything come out of there. All right, that screwdriver didn't work. But what I got is this rod that goes for a barbecue, goes all the way across the barbecue, and it does go into the bottom of the tank, and got some left over, and you can hear it hit those chunks. So we're gonna break those chunks up and push them to the bottom of the tank, and push them out right out the hole. All right, just for giggles, I want to put a magnet down there and see what comes up. Still a lot of stuff down. Oh my goodness. I wonder if I drop a big magnet down there. Maybe the electrolysis is the ticket. And that's a lot of stuff. That's a lot of stuff. The more I clean, the more I find. And a lot of stuff came out of it. It's just like mush down the bottom. I'm gonna try to get the camera and that camera light on it. It's a lot better than what it was. But it's still really bad. try scraping more to the hole. All right, I made me a little scraper. I welded this piece of spring metal onto that rod, and we're gonna try that. All right, let's see if that helps. There we go. The light is on now. You can see the clumpy stuff down there. So I'm thinking, there's the rod coming down. We can finally see that. Still a lot of stuff in it. So I think we'll put the snake in there and snake it around while we're running the water in there. But that's still a lot of stuff. But we're making a lot of progress. Huh. So there's a lot of stuff that came out this tank. And we're not done yet. Still got a lot of clumpy junk down in the bottom. But here, I'll show you so far. You can see there's like a little mountain right there. So far that came out of it. And we got more. It's like a little volcano. All right. Still other debris right down there is something. How it gets in there, I don't know, because there's a screen. There's a screen right down here. Of course it won't focus. Man, I got a lot of stuff out of there. But then when I put my finger up underneath and I put the camera, the upside of the tank is completely coated in rust. So I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my bender and bend this thing. That's what I think I'm gonna do. Will it work? I don't know. I don't see why not. I think I need to bend it a little more. urea of rust. Man, almost considering getting me one of them aluminum tanks. All right, we keep going. Can't even see the hole that goes outside now. Scraped all that from the sides, and up across the top I bent the scraper to hit the roof. And let's see if we can't get this out now. Never ending. Let's try running some water down. A lot better than what it was. I think the pressure washer is too much pressure now. I think if I just spray it like this and wish it around, I think I can get most of it out. The hole's almost plugged up again. Oh, I'm not even sure if that last video even recorded. It's like a never-ending thing. The more I put it down in there, the more it comes out. It's getting a lot better. But it still ain't good. So let's put that heavy-duty magnet underneath it, right up next to where the drain hole is, and we'll spray some water in it and see what happens. Okay, so the magnet is right about 2 inches away from the hole. It did gather right there. Let's see if I can get some of the... Whoops, just sprayed my camera. I want to get that stuff down. Much better. Yeah, so now it's all down on this end, except for a little bit up there. Let me hit that spot. It's getting pretty good. Yeah, rusty side of that tank is there. This side is a lot better. Wonder why. Maybe it's because that's the side the heat was on when the sun's hitting it. You try spraying that down too. Not sure why it's trying to stay there up in that corner. Hose the... Man, that's 190% better than what it was. I like to get that stuff that's up in front of the tank. All the stuff that's over here at the bottom. Get that out of there. All right, this time I think I got it. Man, a lot of pressure washing, a lot of magnet use, a lot of all kinds of stuff. A lot of poking, because some of the stuff wouldn't come up with the magnet because of dirt. I know, God made dirt, don't hurt. I don't want dirt in the fuel tank. Let's take a look at it and see what it looks like. Whew, man, that's a lot of work. I hope my wife got some supper. Okay, so There's still some deposits on this side over here. There's a little bit of loose stuff right down there where the magnet's at. I'm going to get that with the magnet, but just barely. All the way up towards the head is clean. That looks good. This scaling here is pretty rough. But I think if I put some vinegar up in there, it might descale it. I'm not sure if I can do this. A little bit on there, not like it has been. All that pile right there is from this what came off the magnet. All that junk right there. I mean, that's a lot. Big chunks of it. Big chunks. Here's my gasket. Here's the plug. And here is that sending unit. I gotta see if I can't find a part number on that bad boy. Here is some kind of gasket and another piece of gasket. This, I believe, is what's left of the float. I'm probably gonna try cleaning this thing up. I'm gonna see if I can't find another one. Even if I do get it working, it's on its last leg. And I know exactly what these were. All this stuff was in the tank. And that rust right there, which is almost 3/4 of an inch high. You can't really tell on the camera lens. And that's gotta be a pound or better of rust. It looks like rocks, but that's rust. That's incredible. That's totally incredible. That's a lot of rust. There's still some more rust up on the top side of the tank. I can see it with my scope. My scope sucks for trying to get camera focusing on it. But I think when I go to Kentucky, I'm gonna run off of this tank, and that'll be my backup tank right there. And that tank runs good, it's clean. So in case of emergency, I can just turn over to this tank and I'll make it back home safe, as long as the carburetor doesn't get full of gook. I'm gonna bring some extra filters. This tank has a filter on top of the tank, and we got a filter before the pump. So I think what I'm gonna do in this one is I'm gonna put a filter right here somewhere where that thing is, and that will be a filter for this tank. We'll have a filter for that tank, and we'll have a filter going into the pump. And that should be sufficient. And I'll bring about a dozen filters with me, because I'm thinking once I fill this thing up and it's sloshing all around, some of that stuff's gonna sediment. I'll probably put a heavy duty magnet underneath that tank. draw all the rust, if whatever's left, to the bottom of the tank. I'm sure that electrolysis stuff would work. I've dealt with it in the past. I had a video, but YouTube made me take it down. Whoa. They said it was too dangerous for a video. So I think you can still see that video on my son's site. It's HHO. We're doing HHO experiments, and we are running HHO on his gasoline-powered Dodge. Had a 360 motor in it, and we went from 21 miles. We went from 14 miles to the gallon to about 24 miles to the gallon using that, and the engine had a lot more pep. HHO, that's hydrogen and oxygen. All right, and it uses the same methods what we would use to clean this tank, electrolysis. Where electrolysis is used for everything from chroming bumpers to all kinds of stuff, cleaning jewelry, everything. I gotta get inside, the bugs are starting to get me. But this tank is done. It came out really good. Because I had it running on this tank before. And then it wasn't bad when it was just sitting there. But when I started driving it up and down the road, that filter filled right up with gook. Not only did the filter fill up with gook, the fuel line filled up with gook. And it took me forever to blow out the fuel line. I even had to put new fuel lines on the truck because they were rusted in two. They were leaking in 2 or 3 different places. Right? So we got brand new fuel lines on this truck. We got brand new brake lines on this truck. We got everything is new. So I'm fairly confident that when September comes, the me-haul truck will make it to Kentucky. And I don't have too much more. Well, probably tomorrow we're going to work on the tailgate, get the tailgate mounted and make sure it's working properly, and paint it. I think that's the good project for tomorrow. After all day, my wife's going to be happy sleeping next to me with smell like gasoline. Even after a shower, that old gas. We got to start focusing on the Pinto. The Pinto is not going to be roadworthy. It's just going to be Holly Ford Fest worthy. I'm going to make a schedule out. I'm going to try to keep with it because it's going to be pushing it to the wire. And if it's pushing it too much to the wire, we may use the motor that's in it. It's got a peppy little 2300cc motor in it. It ran good when we parked it 10, 11, 12 years ago. My son, actually, after I got it running, my son drove it around for a while when he needed transportation. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Perseverance. Perseverance comes from the Lord. Perseverance, just not giving up. Not giving up. Remember, I tried cleaning this tank over a year ago. I thought I had it cleaned. And I couldn't tell if it was clean or not because I couldn't see down in it. This time, I could see down in it. God bless each and every one of you. I'm going to order up them parts. Next week, we'll have that fuel tank back together and this truck running on it. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. God bless you. I'll see you on the next Fixing Things with Pastor Bill. Man, I got that thing. It's going to work. It's going to work. I can't wait. I can't wait to get started on the Pinto. That's right. Woo!